He's served congregations in Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina. He is an advocate for women's rights, for LGBT equality, economic justice, public education, and separation of church and state. Please welcome Dr. Jones.
It's my honor to be here today as token penis. It would be a mistake, however, to regard this rally as a defense of women's rights only. We are gathered here, women and men, on behalf of human rights. It is a human right to control your own body. It is a human right to make decisions regarding your own health care. It is a human right to determine your own future and your own destiny, whether you are a man or a woman, because all people have dignity and worth simply because we are human beings. You and I know the reason there is a war on women, and the reason we have to be here today. It is because there's too much testosterone in that building and not enough estrogen. If men could get pregnant, abortion would be a fully funded sacred right. If we were debating the funding of Viagra instead of birth control, there would be no debate. This whole issue reminds me of a story, an old story of Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea. You may remember that the story is about an old weathered fisherman, Santiago, who has gone 84 days without catching a fish. And on the 85th day, he decides to reverse his fortune. And so he sets out on his small boat and sails way beyond the other boats and the other fishermen. He feels a heavy tug on his line and discovers that he has caught a huge marlin. And the two engage in a long, laborious struggle that takes its toll on the old man. And finally, after what seems like an endless battle, he harpoons the fish, hangs it over the side of his boat, and heads back to land, where he imagines himself proudly displaying his prize. But sharks detect blood in the water, and they follow his boat, picking at the marlin, one bite at a time. Santiago fends off each shark as best he can, but there are too many of them, and he is too old and too tired to keep them away. And the sharks just keep picking at his catch all the way back to land, so that by the time he arrives ashore, all that is left is a bony carcass. This has been the story of the women's movement in this country. With Roe v. Wade, we thought that women, who for so long had been treated as second-class citizens, as the property of men, finally had control over their own bodies. But then the sharks of retreat and retrenchment, began circling the boat, picking away at women's rights. In the last few months, the sharks have become even more aggressive. In Congress, they oppose the Violence Against Women Act. They are challenging the coverage of birth control in Obama's health care plan. And they have the audacity to debate women's health care without inviting a single woman to testify. In Mississippi, they are attempting to criminalize abortion as murder. In Texas, the sharks are cutting off funding to Planned Parenthood. In Pennsylvania, they're requiring women to have a sonogram before having an abortion. In Virginia, they're requiring women to have a transvaginal ultrasound before having an abortion. Before the Virginia legislature began using that term, I thought transvaginal was an airlines. In Wisconsin, the Sharks have repealed that state's equal pay for women law, and their legislature has introduced a bill defining single parenthood as child abuse. In Arizona, they want to require women to prove they're using birth control for medical reasons other than birth control. And in Topeka, Kansas, they have repealed the domestic violence law, making wife beating legal again. And just this week, here in our all-male state Senate, a committee approved a bill that would deny state employees insurance coverage for abortion, even in cases of rape and incest.
Even Plan B, man.
I wish I were making this up, but truth is stranger than fiction.
Get them out. Get them out.
So take off your high heels and your sandals and put on your combat boots, because we're at war.
That's right.
A war against women. The war did not end with Roe v. Wade. The election of Barack Obama did not finish the struggle for equality and dignity. The sharks are still circling the boat, sisters and brothers, picking away at women's rights, one by one, year by year, state by state. You and I must not falter or fail. We must fight them in the next election. We must fight them in the Congress. We must fight them every legislature in every state. Let us begin that fight right here in these shark-infested waters of our own statehouse. Let us overwhelm these misguided men with so many visits, so many emails, so many letters, so many phone calls, that even with their deaf ears, they will hear the people speak. Let us work for the election of female representatives, so that the People's State House will truly represent all the people. And let us elect women who will challenge the good old boy politics of our state, but not like our governor, who has become one of the good old boys.
Working class women.
Let us tell our preachers to stop using the Bible as a club to beat down women, and to start demonstrating the justice and the compassion of Jesus. Let us teach our sons to respect women, and our daughters to respect themselves. And let us teach both men and women to be both gentle and strong. In the words of Unitarian Susan B. Anthony, organize, agitate, educate. That must be our battle cry.